Hello, welcome to the library orientation tutorial. I'm going to give you a brief tour of how to find resources for your group and individual projects in CogSci um, 319. So the first thing to do is go to the York College website. Under Academics, you'll find a link to the library. Click on that. And then you'll find under Research Tools a link for articles. We're primarily going to be interested in research articles, so click on those. And there'll be another link to articles and more, and that will bring you to a list of databases. At some point along the way, you might have had to log into your account. You can also log in here to York's virtual private network using your student ID, your name ID, and your password. There's other methods of logging in using the barcode on the back of your student ID, just some 10-digit number or something like that. So I'm going to, if you press on P here, it'll take you to a very interesting database. PsycInfo is usually where you're going to find many relevant articles for this class. Another database that you might find interesting stuff in is Medline with full text. That's mostly for physiology type stuff, but general psychology and cognitive psychology you'll find under Psych Articles, PsycInfo, one of those. The yellow box is what you should use if you're on campus. If you're at home, you can click the little green house, just different methods of logging in. When you click on that, it brings you to the EBSCOhost content search engine. So right now we're looking at the PsycInfo database. You can switch databases by clicking on this link over here. And let's say we're interested in finding, let's say, articles on caffeine and memory. Looks like I've already done a search on that. Caffeine and memory, you can click on that. There's a bunch of options to restrict your searches to different languages or different subject populations and so on and so forth. I recommend for your first search leaving all of those things unchecked because it'll only eliminate articles that you might find useful. So click on search and it'll bring up a number of articles here, pages and pages and pages of them. So if you want to restrict your search after that, then you have all these options on the left-hand side. It's very important, very, very important to only use peer-reviewed articles. You want to click on this checkbox for peer-reviewed articles. And the reason is a general search in the search engine will turn up all sorts of stuff from magazines and newspapers and who knows. And we're really interested in peer-reviewed journals, which are journals where scientists have submitted their work for criticism and consideration. So if something is published in a peer-reviewed journal, it's more likely to be accurate. There's another option down here. You can also look at source types. Let me scroll down a little bit and select peer-reviewed journals. Voila. So let's say we were interested in one of these articles. We can click on one here. And that's going to bring us an abstract of the article with all the relevant keywords highlighted. You can email it to yourself. You can print this page. You can do all sorts of stuff here. But I want to show you how to actually get to the article. If you click on the Find It link, it's going to bring up a new window. And it's going to tell you where you can get this. Now, ideally, you want to just be able to download this to your desktop so you can save it. And that's usually what Full Text Online does. It brings you to the journal itself or the journal content provider. So let's do that. Let's click on Full Text Online. Open that window up. So it's going to connect us to the publisher, Elsevier. And we'll have many options. Now, every publisher's site is going to be slightly different, but what you'll probably see is an abstract. Maybe the full article will be there, or maybe there'll be a link to show you the full article, and you can either read it online, or you can click on this link here, PDF. And what a PDF will allow you to do is save the whole article to your desktop. Give it a name, caffeine stuff. and save it. Now if I open that up in my computer, voila, there's the whole article, pictures and everything. I want to show you one other thing that might happen to you. Let's close all this. So let's say they don't have a version that's online. There's usually another link. CUNY has a copy. That means somewhere in the CUNY school system, it exists either electronically or it exists in paper form. And here's a list of all the schools, and if you click through there, so apparently behavioral brains research exists at Brooklyn College, and you can click through and it'll show you the category, the call number at the Brooklyn Library. One other thing I want to show you, going back to the set over here, let's say we wanted to do a search on an author name. Well, you can use the last name of the author. Let's say we're looking for me, Duncan, and usually the first initial and the middle initial if you know it. So I'm Robert O. Duncan, so I would search for Duncan R.O. Now if I do a search here, in PsycInfo, we only get 2 hits, and that's probably because most of my work deals with physiology, so you won't find it here. So if we switch databases to the Medline database, now we can either switch altogether and uncheck PsycInfo or search both. I'm just going to look at Medline. We can reconduct that search, and voila, we have a whole bunch of articles. So we can find one of those, and that's me over there. Another useful thing is, let's say you're doing a search on a category like brain damage. Okay, that's a lot of articles, right? So you click on that, you're probably going to get pages and pages of articles. It goes on and on beyond page 5. Let's say now we can just restrict it to stuff since the year 2000. Let's look at the last roughly 10 years, 11 years. And that should, well, there's still a whole bunch of articles. Let's say we want to find, let's see if there's an option for this. Yeah, let's just narrow this down. We want to look at, let's say, brain damage in humans. There we go. So now we can look at the subjects, and that should narrow it down a bit, and so on and so forth. But you get the idea. That'll help, narrow down. These tabs over here will help narrow down your search so that you can find things a little easier, find a little more current research and whatnot. Anyway, if that, after that, if you get stuck, go talk to a librarian, send me an email if you're having problems finding something or you get confused. But hopefully that'll get you off to a good start.